Welcome back to the workshop. Today, this motor is going on a power hammer. I better get down. I think we might be overloaded. Right, so as you can see, she's a cold one again today. Winter's well and truly set in here, I think now. Frosty mornings, flat batteries on the van, all that sort of good stuff. So today's task and job, or what I want to get achieved this weekend, is I want to get this big motor. It must weigh, God, it must weigh a ton at least. We want to get this motor mounted to our Massey power hammer. So this is the motor we picked up the other day. 1 ton lump of pure solid cast iron. She runs smooth as a nut. We've already tested that. We've put a plug on it temporarily, spun it up, and that all works lovely. We've got a video on that if you want to go back and watch that. Can't remember what it's called. Testing power hammer motors, messing about in the yard. No idea. But if you go back, you should be able to find that video. So what we've got to do is we've got to make a frame to affix to the frame that's already on the power hammer. We've previously made a frame for the power hammer to lift it up, take it to shows, because we've taken it to a few steam rallies, local steam rallies, and done a bit of blacksmith demonstrations here and there. So we've got the frame made. What we need to do now is get this motor mounted to that frame. So we're going to be fabricating some sort of bolt-on fixture so that we can get this motor on and take it off, because we do want to be able to have the ability to run it on a flat belt if we go back to any shows in the future. So yeah, I think that covers what we're going to be doing this week. So let's get on with it. Let's fire up the plasma cutter, make some plates. Let's start some fabrication. First job, we're going to have to move the hammer, so we're going to get this forklift going. Still a bit cold, she needs a little bit of help. Works every time. Right, so all that's done is give us a little bit of access for around the back here now. So here we go then, it's drawn up in CAD, this is the plan. CAD being the cardboard variety. As you can see, we got some channel out in the yard, which is 200 deep and 75 wide. And that matches the frame which is on the hammer. This is Patty over here, that's her name. That's what she goes by. So this is Patty, this is the original frame. We're going to be making a rectangle off the back of that, but we don't have enough steel to do that all in one length, so we're just going to be adding a bit of plate, probably 10mm plate on the back, and that'll give us somewhere to mount the motor frame down to. So first thing we need is a couple of plates, 2 of these to go on the back of the hammer, which is already there on the frame, and 2 to go on this new frame, and that will give us the ability to demount it when we need to run it on a belt. So let's get a plasma fired up and start with that. So first of the plate's done, 16mm bolt. I also won't clean it up, but it's going to work. Right, so there's our 4 end plates. They're going to be matched pairs. We just had to run a drill down through the plasma tips and change in. So we just got them holes cleaned out. Next step's going to be the channel. So this is the longest length we've got, so we're just going to be chopping it in half. And this will give us our 2 main runners that the motor frame's going to mount on. So we're going to cut them to 900. Ideally we wanted about 1200, but right, so that's all the pieces cut. Next thing I'm going to do is stick the end plates on. I'm going to get welded on, glued on somewhere like that. So I'm going to get this cleaned off, fire up the welder, get them tacked on. Right, so we got all that welded on. I've been out to find some bolts. Look like they're going to work. So these plates is the ones that's going to get welded onto the actual hammer frame. And they're going to get bolted on. Like that. So I'm going to get these bolted on just to keep them all together. Not really worried about keeping this job pretty, it just needs to be strong and functional. Right, so this one's going to be going, I'm going to turn it around now. So this one's going up like that. That one's going to be going on there. Like that. And then this one is going to be going on there. Like that. So we're going to get a couple more clamps, I'll get all this squared up, and then we get this piece tacked on. There she is, she's on the deck. I think that's going to work out nice. Like I said earlier, this is the problem we have with the rails not being long enough. We just need to extend this little bit out the back here, so we can get a bolt in and get all 4 bolts and get that all nice and secure. Can't I just drop it off at your place and pick it up when it's done? Oh, I have nothing to do with it. If you want to come down here to Anne, you're fucking more than welcome, mate. It's just turning into a bit of a scrappy challenge now, eh? Do you know how to do that? You got your own? Yeah. You're qualified then for fucking. Right, so it's a new day, and as you can see, I did end up getting this frame out and just mocked up real quick. But I've made the decision, with the weather we get round here when it's just constantly raining, that motor needs to be under the shelter. So I've got to get this hammer. It's going to have to go back in, at least so we can get the motor underneath this makeshift shelter. So that's going to be the plan now. I'm going to bring the crane over, we're going to move some stuff. Unfortunately the line shaft will have to be moved, and we get it all in situ. Right, so that's got the yard tidied up a little bit. I think that's going to be a much better configuration. Having a hammer there is going to be much better than where it was, much more usable. So let's get back in the shed now and carry on with that motor mount. There she is. I'll just quickly give it a coat of paint. We just had a box turned up, so let's get that open. I'm opening it. In here's some V-belts. Should be 7 of them. 4.5 meters long. Beautiful. Right, so we've got the V-belts, but we need to get them in round the flywheel now. But to do this, we're going to have to lift this flywheel up and feed this belt in underneath the crank. So I'm going to get these caps removed and get these belts on. Right, go round the other side, do the same. Then we can just bring the forklift in, lift this flywheel up, feed the belts under. There we go, all the belts are frame where it's going to be. Just got to put these caps back on. Right, so this is probably a really bad idea, as she's only temporarily clamped up, but I can't wait, it's getting dark, I'm going to have to bump the motor and see what happens. Yeah. I think we need to tighten the belt. But there we go. Proof of concept. What happened there then? Right, I'm going to need more tension. I'm going to have to sort out the tensioner. I'm going to have to get this welded together, get the motor actually bolted down. I'm calling it quits here. That'll do for tonight. Right, so I lied one more quick test. Got it attached to the fork truck. That should be putting some tension on the motor. We'll try it again. Fingers crossed. One thing I noticed is the outside belts, pretty slack. Internal belts, quite tight. I think that's because there might be a crown in the pulley. But we're going to give it a go. before we get too carried away, just want to give it some oil in. Do a grease pot. Bit of bearing oil. And let's see if she makes some noise. Right, so that's it. Now we can go home. Right, so I hate to have to do it, but I'm gonna have to cut this video here. It's getting very long now, and well, quite frankly, my Amazon Basics PC ain't gonna cope with editing it, so we're gonna have to turn this into a bit of a two-part video. Things we still need to do is weld the frame, bolt the motor. We still need to fit a motor starter of some description and some wiring. We also need to check the RPM to see what the hammer's running at. And most importantly, we need to find a way of heating up some metal so we can feed it. If you have enjoyed the video, please consider liking and sharing it with your mates, sisters, brothers, aunties, uncles, kids, anyone really. It helps the channel out a lot and it don't cost nothing. So with all that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers! Good morning, welcome back to the workshop. I'm Norm, and today we're going to be getting this big motor, this monstrous motor, on our little